Hi students! This week we're going to be talking about waves. And I know you might think of like waves on the beach, but we're going to be talking about different waves than that. So there's waves so that we can hear things. There are waves so that we can see things. There are waves when we cook stuff in the microwave. Those are called microwaves. That's why, because microwaves cook our food inside. But today we're going to be focusing on sound waves. So we're going to be doing our 2 labs today. You'll see those in a second. But when we talk about waves, they look just like this. Just like you think of drawing a wave. And sometimes our waves are little waves, and those are going to be our highest sounding waves when we come to hearing things. And when we have waves that are big and slow, those are going to be our low waves. So they are going to make a really low sound versus our waves that are really tight and really thin. Those ones are going to make really high sounding waves. So you guys are going to run 2 different labs today, and you're going to test which ones make these different kinds of waves. And you're going to write your conclusions down when you're doing your labs. So have fun. I hope you enjoy it. I know I did. Bye. Alright, for lab number 1, you're going to need a pen or a pencil, and you're going to need 3 glasses filled with different amounts of water. Hi students, so for part 1 of our lab this week, we are going to be listening to the sound waves that come from our glasses, depending on how tall they're filled with water. So this one has the most water in it, this one has half filled with water, and this one has the least amount of water in it. So for your lab this week, you're going to be testing 2 things. First part, I want you to blow over the top of your glass and listen to what kind of sound it makes. Does it make a low sound, low, or does it make a high sound, really high? So I know if I blow across it, I can listen to what kinds of sounds it make, and I want you to write on your sheet of paper which one, less amount, half amount, most amount, makes the low note and which one makes the high note. Then, once you've completed that part, I want you to go back and I want you to take like a pencil or a pen. I want you to ding on your glasses. Usually where the water is at works the best. And don't bang really hard because you could break your pencil or break your glass. That would be bad. And I want you to, again, listen to what kind of note it makes. Does it make a really high note or a really low note? And you're going to put that on your piece of paper as well and see if there's a difference between blowing air across or tapping it with a pen or a pencil. Awesome, guys. I will see you back here in a little bit. All right, now for part 2 of our lab, now that we've listened to our high notes and our low notes that our glasses made, and we already wrote that down so that we can remember when Miss V asks us later, we are going to use our supplies that Miss V has asked you to have ready, which was a tissue box and 3 of the rubber bands Miss V sent home with you. They don't have to be different colors, but mine are different colors. So make sure your tissue box that you have is empty, there's nothing inside of it, and that all of your sides are connected. They're not open at all, besides where your tissues came out of. So I want you to wrap your 3 rubber bands around your box. However you want. They can go this way or this way, like a guitar. So these are Kleenex's box guitars. So I actually have already put mine on, and if you pull them tighter or if you pull up on them, it makes it looser, and the looser it is, it makes a lower sound. And if you pull it from the side, it makes your rubber band tighter, and it's going to make a higher sound because your waves aren't going to be quite as big if their string is really tight, but if your string is really loose, it's going to make really big long waves, and those are our low ones. So I'm going to play you a song on my tissue box guitar. You might know it, you might not, but if you know it, wait till the end and share it with Miss V. Are we ready? The best song ever. Are you ready? Here it goes. Ta-da! this is how I had my tissue box guitar set up. So I had my lowest note at the top, my highest note at the bottom. Okay, so now that we're back from our labs, we made our tissue box guitar, and we did stuff with our glasses of water. What glasses made the lowest sound when you blew into them? Was it your one with the most water or your one with the least water? Awesome. Yeah, your one with the least amount of water, maybe even no water, had the lowest note. But then when you went back in and you tapped it with something, whether it was a pen or a pencil, it made a really high sound. So why do we think this? Come up with your ideas. We're going to talk about it next week. We also did the exact same thing with our tissue box guitar. So you saw that I said if you tighten on the side your rubber bands, it makes it higher. So we're shortening the length of our rubber band that's touching our opening. So they're making it, instead of being lots of room for waves to happen, we pull it tight, and so we have little waves so that they make a really high sound because our waves are really little. And I told you if you wanted to make a low note on your guitar, you pulled it from the top, right? And that made our string longer on our opening for our guitar, which made our waves go big and long, just like we talked about. So that made a low note, right? And we saw that, we found that. We could test it. It was proven to be correct. So I want you to think about what you know about waves and what we've talked about and tested. Think about why when we blow into our glasses does it make a low sound, but when we tap it, it makes a high sound. All right, can't wait to hear what you guys come up with. Have a great week.